Hello, and welcome to the channel. My name is Trash Bag Dad, and today in the trash bin I rustled up a real doozy for us today. Chase Bank, the home to scammers and swipers alike, the go-to for the punch-made devs of the world, has made waves recently on TikTok due to a money glitch, which in all reality just ended up being check fraud. Whoa! Can you imagine that? Free money isn't actually free. Now, as a broke college student, I kinda already am aware of the fact that money doesn't grow on trees, but on the other hand, as a broke college student, kinda see the appeal. I mean, if it had no downsides, well, why not? But there's a lot of downsides. Let's get into that, about how the glitch actually works. If you had a Chase banking account, whether it be a savings account or a checking account, whatever have you, if you go to a Chase ATM with a blank check, write whatever value you wanted on it, and then deposit it into your account, you would be able to withdraw that money. And usually, there are limiters in place as to how much you can deposit at one time, or at the very least, how much you can take out before the check clears, or before it's fully processed. But it seems, for whatever reason, that wasn't the case. Now that all sounds good and dandy, right?
Mr. Trash, you may yell out, why can't we take money from Chase Bank without any repercussions? It's their fault anyhow.
Down with big banking! Yeah! Well, before you get ahead of yourself, sport, let Daddy Trash tell you why. Basically, the main caveat to this glitch was you had to use your own social security number and your own Chase Bank account. If you actually wanted the funds to go to you. So even if you made a dummy account just to try it out and then transfer the funds over to your real account, it's all tied to your social security number. Now, for those of you who still haven't had that eureka moment as to why this is a bad thing, basically that means the bank knows it's you who's committing the crime, right? Because everything about you is tied to your social security number from the day you are born until the day you die. Names, addresses, jobs you worked for, crimes. All of these things are kept underneath the umbrella of your social security number because it's your personal identifier, right? But instead of it being like how we have on our MacBooks or our phones and everything like that, where there's NordVPN or there's Surfshark to like hide your IP address or your social security number, there is no legal way to do that, especially if you're trying to get funds from a bank, right? So there was no way you could hide your identity from this, meaning that Chase Bank knows exactly who did this glitch and knows exactly where you live and knows who to call to where the feds can come get you and knock on your door. If you're wondering why the feds would be knocking on your door, this is because check fraud, which is exactly what this glitch is a federal offense. It is a felony. It's a federal crime. The government is going to touch your booty hole. Now, you may be wondering to yourself, well, that's only if you make a large amount, right? Like, you only deposit or put in, like, a large, crazy, unimaginable amount, right? No. Check fraud starts becoming a federal offense or, a felony at $200. Right? $200 and more can land you in federal prison. To put that into perspective, that's like the average grocery cost in America right now for a week. For a week. So people can go to federal prison for groceries, right? If you think about it that way. And it's even worse because the people who were posting on TikTok about how they scam Chase Bank and, how they really beat the system, they're posting tens of thousands of dollars that they hit Chase Bank for, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars that they hit the bank for, meaning that not only are they taking out a lot of money, it's definitely 90 times worse than if they had just taken out a couple $100, right? I mean, and the sad thing about it is it doesn't stop there, because you may be thinking to yourself, well, my uncle, he's a felon, he's an ex-con, and now he's making a life from himself and rehabilitating and being a contributing member to society. Well, the old saying, money makes the world go round, or like Wu-Tang's, cash rules everything around me, cream, right? The reason they're in place is because that's how real life works, right? It actually does rule everything. And this can financially cripple you for the rest of your life. I mean, Chase Bank, if they catch you doing this glitch or whatever you want to call it, check fraud, which is the actual name for it, if they catch you doing this and they tie it to you, you can go to federal prison and also be blacklisted from every major banking company in America. Or anywhere, really. Even if you try to get a bank account overseas and you try to use your social security number, your ding is going to pop up there for your felony trying to scam banks. You can't really use any bank ever again. That means no credit score, no checks, no debit cards, no anything, really. No savings accounts. You're going to be living practically off the grid, because most jobs, they need a checking account or a savings account to deposit your checks virtually. But if you don't have that option because you're blacklisted from banks, they're not going to be able to hire you. Or even if a company is like, yeah, you know what, we'll hire you, we'll just give you checks, you can't cash those checks you receive because you are blacklisted from every bank, right? So there's quite literally no way that you can sustain yourself. So, and the long and short of it, don't do this stupid glitch that can ruin your future, right? And if you already have, it's safe to say you got to lawyer up at the very least with whatever funds you didn't blow on your trip to Acapulco or your clubbing in Miami. Anyways, that's all for me today. Thank you for tuning in. If you like what you see, make sure to stick around. Hopefully this isn't the only video that I ever make or post, because this is my first ever one. But if I am alive and I do more content for you guys and you want to make sure that you stay up to date with that, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you tap in with everything like that. And, that'd be it. So stay safe. Keep it classy, dumpster divers.